Chapter 15. Missing. 11:22 a.m. Alex sprinted up the concrete stairs to the upper playground. Be there, be there, be there, he whispered, taking the 2 steps at a time. He already made a hurried deal with the universe. If he took the steps 2 at a time, she'd be there. But he reached the top, and the playground was empty. There was no one in sight. There was no sign of Nunu anywhere. He called out tentatively. Nunu? He tried again, louder. Nunu! He shaded his eyes and scanned the park. Down the ball field, something was in the dugout, caught his attention. He sprinted over. It was his backpack lying on the bench. But no Nunu. Alex turned into a circle, confused. This doesn't make any sense, he thought. Nunu never left inside. Most of the time, he couldn't get rid of her. How come she just disappeared? Alex felt panic well up inside of him, as his brain jumped right and left to the worst-case scenarios. Stranger danger. They had taught 1,000 times in school. Stranger danger, their parents recited over and over. So she had to know not to talk to strangers. But his parents had also taught Alex to watch over his sister when they were out together. If he could forget, so could she. He tried to think back to when he last noticed her. It was the end of the ball game when she was playing with the Game Boy. He hadn't seen her since then. Alex swallowed hard, trying to keep from being sick. He felt a nudge on his leg and looked down. The dog had brought him a stick. No, we need to find Nunu. Alex pushed on, searching for the bathrooms and double-checking the playground. He ran across the grass expanse of the soccer field, and Rex looped towards him and kept bringing him sticks, looking hurt when Alex ignored him. Alex turned back to the park and cupped his hands to his mouth. Nunu! Rex tipped his head back and unleashed a long, serious howl. Shh, be quiet so I can hear. But every time Alex yelled, the dog howled right along with him. They made their way to the edge of the park. Alex kept his eyes peeled. Come on, Rex, look for Nunu. The dog didn't seem to understand. He just kept entangled in Alex's legs and then veered off to sniff around benches and dig inside trash barrels. Alex forged his way across the wild, overgrown creek bed, crisscrossing the mucky banks of the stream until it abruptly disappeared through the metal grates in the slime-slick culvert, running a 4-lane road that bricked the far edge to the park. Alex tried to grate. It was welded shut. He peered inside, but he couldn't see anything. Next to the culvert, the dusty maintenance yard that ran all the way back to the shadows under the 4-lane bridge. On the left, a huge concrete pipe from an older sewer repair job laid scattered around. Over to the right stood an old shed, the door hanging slightly opened. Alex squeezed through the hole in the fence and hurried towards the shed. Please be there, please be there, please be there. He reached the door and yanked it open. The shed was empty. Up to now, Alex had been able to hold together. Now his knees started to shake, tears burning his eyes. Behind him, Rex began barking furiously. Alex backed out of the shed. The dog was on the other side of the maintenance yard with its head inside a 4-foot-wide concrete pipe, tail rigid, back and feet bouncing nervously. Alex sprinted over and showed his head beside the dog's. Nunu took one aim at the Game Boy's control and waved. Hi, Alex! Alex grabbed her by the hand and dragged her sideways off the pipe. What are you doing in there? Playing, Dora. You ran away. I couldn't see the screen in the sun. I've been looking everywhere for you. Why are you yelling at me? I'm not yelling. Once again, Rex howled right at Alex. When Alex and Nunu saw what was happening, they both got giggles and couldn't stop. Rex stopped howling and let loose a happy bark. Sorry I yelled at you, said Alex. It's okay. I was worried. Not me. Alex rolled his eyes and then grinned at his dog, who was scratching intently behind one ear, like nothing had happened. You're lucky. I've got a greatest rescue dog ever. Hey, crybaby! Alex spun around. Jordan and his goons were up on the bridge. Calvin seemed to be arguing with Jordan, but Jordan shoved him aside and then whipped his arm forward. The beer bottle was now in midair before Alex realized that Jordan had thrown it. No! The bottle had hit the sickening thud, followed by the sound of shattering glass. The dog yelped once, and then his front legs were buckled. Chapter 16. The Man in the White Shirt. 10:24 a.m. The man in the white shirt turned around a corner, and saw a female police officer helping injured man in the suit limp down the street. The police officer had lost her hat. Her pants were dusty and torn. The businessman was in worse shape. He had no shoes, one foot covered with blood. He couldn't put pressure on his ankle. He held on one cop's shoulder like a crutch. The man in the white shirt angled towards them. He started to speak. At first, all that came out was a hoarse croak, and then he was choking, coughing back a gritty gray dust out of his lungs. The cop looked impatient. The last thing she needed was another invalid on her hands. Finally, the coughing stopped, and he croaked out on a question. "Can I help?" The cop threw him a look. "You up for it?" The man in the white shirt nodded and got onto the other side. He and the cop linked hands and made a cradle. The injured man put his arms around their shoulders and lowered himself into the basket they had made with their arms. Then they lifted him off his feet and carried him down the street. 3 people moving as one. Chapter 17. Radar. 11:34 a.m. Alex's arms were on fire, but he barely noticed. Even the dog was nearly half its size. Alex carried him the entire way, moving so fast that Nunu sometimes had to run to keep up. The dog had laid his head on Alex's shoulder, blood seeping from behind him, its ears and matted fur. Alex whispered him reassuring, "It's okay, boy, you'll be okay." Alex had passed a Happy Dog Animal Hospital a zillion times in the school bus. It was a low, white building painted with the Dalmatian spots and a rotating sign out the short, shaped like a dog bone. Alex long ago had made his mind that when he got a dog, that would be his pet. "I'm sorry, boy. I'm so sorry. Is he okay, Alex?" Nunu trotted anxiously behind them, holding onto the dog's paw and cooing. "Good boy." "Alex, is he going to be okay?" "I don't know," said Alex. "Who did it?" "Some jerks." "Why did they hurt him?" Because why?" "Because they're jerks." "But why?" "I don't know," Alex replied. "They just are." They arrived at the vet's door just as the vet was looking up to leave. But the vet took one look at the injured dog and gave him a reassuring smile and led them inside. Dr. Marks was quick but thorough and soon assured Alex that Rex was going to be fine. The dog just needed some stitches to close up the cut on his head. Alex stayed right by Rex's side through the whole exam, holding him while the vet irrigated the wound and stroked his paw when the doctor was injecting him with anesthesiac. When the doctor sewed the 2 flaps of skin together with the needle and thread, Alex flinched but never looked away. "There, good as new. Just rub the cream on the wound twice a day." Dr. Martins held out a tube of ointment. "I can't." "It's not hard. I'll show you. I mean, I don't have money." Dr. Marks slapped the tube on Alex's hand. "This one's on the house," he said, as he scratched the dog's neck. "What's his name?" Well, you see, the thing is, you don't know your own dog's name?" "I found him today. He's mine. He's my birthday dog. I'm going to call him Rex." The vet took a handheld electronic scanner off the counter and waved it back and forth over the dog's back. The scanner beeped. "He's got a chip." The vet checked out and read and nodded. "Say hello to Radar." "Radar," Alex echoed. Radar turned to the sound of his name and licked Alex's hand. "He's got an address, too." The vet copied the address onto her pad and tore it off the sheet. and held it out to Alex. 417 Van Orton. You know where it is? Alex shrugged. That's his home. You should take him back, the doctor said. Alex felt hot and cold at once and reached for the radar to steady himself. No way, he's mine. He belongs to someone else. Dr. Mark's voice was quick but firm. I found him. The vet took off his glasses and rubbed the bridge of his nose. Look, son, I don't have time to deal with this now. I've got to close up and get home to my family. He's mine. Where are your parents? Alex didn't want his parents getting wind of any of this. Okay, fine. Give me the address. I'll take him back. He came around the table and reached the paper. The vet pulled it away. Where are your parents? My mom's in the hospital. Oh, is she okay? I guess. She's a nurse. And what about your dad? He's under the river. What? That's what he always says. He drives the PATH train under the World Trade Center. Oh, Lord. What? You don't know? That was the second time he'd been asked that. Yeah, said Alex. Then he shrugged. I think. Dr. Marks glanced at Nuno waiting at room. He lowered his voice and turned back to Alex and put his hand on the shoulder. Son, a bunch of terrorists just flew 2 planes into the World Trade Center.